Hi, hello fellow drawers, how's it going? Today we're fixing your art again. You're submitting it, I'm fixing it, and giving my humble advice and opinion that you can either choose to consider or say that I'm a total fool and my advice is full of shit. At least that's what I say when I disagree with advice given to me. Everything I'm going to say in this video is my personal opinion that you have the right to agree or disagree with. I have my own style and preferences, and that inevitably plays into how I see other people's art. But if you end up enjoying this video, then consider leaving a like because it really helps the channel and I very much appreciate it. Thank you. I think I'll start with this one because this one is from the previous batch of submissions, if I'm not mistaken. I wanted to include it last time, but I didn't because I'm just super mean like that. But I'm including it now. And the first thing I noticed, despite it being small, is this really wrinkly nose. I don't really know why her nose does that. For her to get not one, not two, but three big wrinkles on her nose like that, she'd have to be like 80 years old at least. And eyes also don't do what they're doing here. The corner of this eye is like poking out of her skull. How did it do that? So I'll just make her eyes more aligned, bring this eye inside her face, smooth out her nose wrinkles and reshape the nose a bit. Also, I would make this top lip less curved because when we smile, our top lip doesn't really curve like that. It's like in a pretty straight line. And the corners of the mouth are usually pretty rounded if your character didn't snap and go into Joker mode. Oh, I also made her tongue a bit smaller. And the other thing is her arms. They look, again, like she's 80 years old. You know, it reminds me of this scene in One Piece when Luffy was fighting Crocodile and he just sucked out all of the moisture out of his hand and it became like all dried up and wrinkly. So let's give her some juice, some meat, so she's not just skin and bones. Yeah, and here's the before and after. Okay, this one wasn't submitted in the hashtag, the person DM'd it to me privately. And here I immediately was like, contrast. Nurse, contrast, quick, we're losing her. So I added these shadows on her hairs to give it some dimension, some depth. Also, her head shape was kind of egg-shaped. It's kind of pointy here. So I made it more flat on top and made the forehead part a bit larger. And when there is this distinct, juicy, sunny lighting, I love that. Don't be shy with it. Lay it thick, let it fall into her hair, her head, and don't blur it out. Like, give it some shape so it shows the planes of the face. If you want to study the planes of the face, you can use an Asaro head or you can use screenshots from Arcane. That is also pretty helpful because the characters there have very sharp facial structure. And when the lighting is that distinct, the shadow should also be distinct, especially this shadow under the chin. It's really dark. Also added a shadow under her nose and shaded her top lip and contoured her face a bit. What else did I do? I brought her neck a bit forward, made her eyeballs wider and lash line a bit darker, and yeah, that's it. Here's the before and after. Of course, you can smooth out some edges here. They don't have to be that sharp, but you have to have both sharp and soft edges in your shading. This is what haven't posted in ages, but here's my OC. That is disturbing. You know those challenges like draw your OC as a villain, draw your OC as a child, as a princess. How about drawing your OC burning alive and their skin melting off their bones? Oh, traditional drawing with markers. I love marker drawings. They look so satisfying. I really love the designs here and these color swatches that you added. The only advice I can give is, and I'm not sure if that is maybe a stylistic choice and it's fully intentional, then by all means I don't have a problem with that. But if not, then I'd say that these noses are placed way too high, like they're almost in between their eyes. The most simple proportion rule for the face is that halfway between the brow line and the chin line is the nose line, and then 2/3 or 1/2 of the way from the chin to the nose line is the mouth line. I'll insert this proportion drawing that I made for my face tutorial video. So I would just move these noses down and then that would actually match the proportion lines. See? And here's the before and after. My migraine is going crazy today. Like, my head is about to explode. So I don't know whether I should take a break. No, actually, I know what will make me feel better. I wanted to save this for later, but I think now is the time. Okay, this dude, cis person. As soon as I saw this, I realized this is someone special. This is the kind of audience I didn't know I wanted, but turns out Definitely needed. Need to be heavily criticized because I'm a masochist. I wanted you to really humiliate me in one of your YouTube videos. All jokes aside, what jokes are we talking about? Don't try to back out and say it's a joke now. I know it's not. You know it's not. We all know it's not. I'm really lost on what I did wrong or why my art doesn't turn out the way I wanted to. By the way, I started digital art 2 weeks ago. Please help me see what I should improve on with your blessed eyes. You got it. We fulfilled the dirtiest of kinks and fantasies on this channel, don't you worry. These eyes look really cool. I love this like little detail. Sorry, I mean this looks like shit. The eyes are ugly as fuck. Did your mom help you draw this? Yeah, I figured. Is that humiliating? I can't tell. You know what's really humiliating? Someone taking out a slice of your head like you're a freaking cake. Who did that? There's a cake slice, I mean a head slice missing. And also the hair. I love that you have line art. We appreciate line art on this channel. But this line art is very bold, dark, and sharp, while the rendering on the hair and the rest of the character is kind of blurry, which makes your coloring and your line art look like they're separated. Just like your parents. I know mine are. So if I were you, luckily I'm not, I would take a smudge tool and try to smudge that signature from the divorce papers. I'd either take a smudge tool and soften the edges of your liner to make it blend in more with the shading, or I would do something that would work much better, and that is giving more structure and hard edges to the shading instead, which is exactly what I did with this hair. First I added big shadows, then smaller shadows, then some highlights. They're on the wrong side, I realize, but that's okay. Now that is disrespectful. And finally, some of this purple lighting that kind of reflects from this purple background. I mean, I don't really like what I did here because it looks too much like my style, and I don't normally try to redraw stuff in my style. I just try to fix some mistakes and make some changes, but it just turned out looking like my style, so it doesn't really match with your style, but I hope you still get the concept. Sharp line art with sharp shading, soft line art with soft shading. Then I looked at this nose and it looks so good, I want to plug my toaster into it. Yeah, I made these nostrils wider and shorter and added some snatched contouring. And I also made the chin shorter, which I don't know why I did that, but I did, and I don't know an explanation to you. Yeah, no, I don't. And also highlighted the scarf a bit. And here's the before and after. I'm done with you. I hope you got your daily dose of humiliation. You're welcome. And you know what? Surprisingly, I actually do feel better. Isn't it so magical what a little bit of toxicity can do to a person? Okay, let's go back to Instagram submissions. Oh, look, FNAF mentioned. Really sick style over here. Looking really edible. Okay, this one, as soon as I saw it, I thought, wow, this will be a real pain in the ass to fix because of this glitchy background and the smoke and all the effects and lighting. But I wanted to give it a shot. I like a challenge. So obviously I had to basically repaint her and cut her out and DIY the background somehow. And only after that I could actually get to making some changes. I see where you were going for with the lighting and the vibe. You wanted her to be lit with this beautiful turquoise matrix type lighting. But when there is lighting, even when there is a lot of lighting, there will still always be shadows. But here I don't really see any shadows on her. She's just glowing from inside and out, which slate, but adding the shading can actually help you amplify the lighting, make it look juicier and deeper. First, as I'm a fan of line art, I added some dark green line art on her to define some shapes and give her more structure. It doesn't have to be this dark, but you get the concept. Then what we do is we add shadows. Boom. Now she has dimension, now she has shape. See these hard edges? Oof. Ooh, and at last, we add our beautiful turquoise lighting. I could leave it at that, but something has been secretly bothering me this entire time, and that is her neck and her face that do not match her body whatsoever. I mean, look at how thin her neck is compared to her tree trunk arms. I mean, her arms are technically normal. If she had a realistic neck and head, her body would look perfectly fine. But now what she has is a realistic body combined with an extremely stylized petite anime girl neck and face. And that just rubs me the wrong way. So I tried to liquefy her body so it matches her head better, and this is what I got, kind of. I'd still maybe make her neck wider, but And here's the before and after. What do you think? This one is my type of drawing. Love characters epically standing in the void. I call that concept art. The biggest advice I can give to those who love drawing full bodies standing in the void character concepts is watch the feet. Because these feet, they are tilted, but there is no background, no floor, no road underneath her, nothing that would indicate or give us any sense of space or perspective. So it looks like she's Dua Lipa, because she's levitating. And this problem is easily solved by just drawing a straight horizontal line before drawing the feet and then gluing those feet to that line. I have been doing that for all my full body drawings. Feet are in a perfectly straight line, so even though there is no sense of space, the character still looks like they're standing firmly on the ground. There is a sense of weight, sense of balance, and I just think it looks cool. Second thing here are her little arms. I feel like they're so little, especially her right hand. It's like a baby hand. So I adjusted the length of her upper arms and forearms and hands and put her gloves into more accurate perspective. And the last thing is this pickaxe, or what's the name of this cold weapon. Either way, even if I was walking down a dark alley and saw someone sprinting right at me with this thing, I would not bat an eye because I know as soon as they swing that thing at me, it's going to snap right in half like a freaking toothpick. Look at how thin this thing is, and how big and heavy this piece of stone or metal must be. That's why she's holding on it with both hands, because as soon as her phone rings, she reaches one hand into her pocket, this thing goes and sticks right into her foot, screaming blood everywhere. Yeah, so I made this stick thicker and more practical, and here's the overall before and after. This submission has a bunch of drawings. I really like the first one. The colors are just so cute and tasty. The common feature I notice across all of these is their facial structure, which again can be a stylistic choice if done on purpose. And on these two, it doesn't pop out as much because the face shape is more round and smooth. But in this one, it's very visible how her jawline starts almost at her cheekbones level. And those are usually pretty far apart. When you're drawing a face, you have this first line that goes from the cheekbone to the jawline, and the second line that goes from the jaw to the chin. And this cheek line is pretty long, so I would bring this jawline down. And I also fixed the head here a bit. I don't know, I feel like it already looks so much more balanced. And here's the before and after 40 days of non-stop mewing. We can try doing the same with this one, but honestly, I think it can be okay as is. I don't know. Okay, this is I'm so happy. You drew Beck. I'm so happy. He's so cute. In case you're unfamiliar, Beck is my OC. He is this small little guy with cheese sticks growing out of his head. This is a plushie of him my sister made for me, by the way. He's also the owner of this channel. All the revenue goes to him. I don't earn a single cent. Yeah. Also, this email included this little portrait drawing. It is so soft, the color is so nice. I would maybe make her neck a bit shorter, but even the long neck kind of works here because she has this kind of long oval face, and her body is also this straight rectangular silhouette and these vertical stripes. So, yeah, I think it looks pretty cohesive. Now, this, come on. You don't want to get any advice. You just mailed this to flex your art on us, huh? I'm gonna let you flex it, of course. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what else you expected me to say. It's literally perfect. The colors, the chibis, that hand pose alone, oh my god. Too bad this person didn't give any link or username of their art account. Maybe they don't have one. If you don't have one, you totally should. People should see this. Finally, Jinx fan art. Yes, we love fixing Jinx fan art. We had 2 of those last time. This time I only got 1, but every Jinx counts. And my arcane fan art count is still at 0. So first I changed the shape of this eye so the lash line, instead of curving like this, curves like this. This eye as well, it's almost like poking out of her head, and this brow seems like it didn't fit onto her face at all, so I reshaped this eye and forehead and both brows, gave her some shading here and added some detail into the hairline. Then the nose I feel like was placed way too far to the side, so I kind of moved it inwards, and obviously these mischievous lips that she has also reshaped along with the chin. I don't know, with this one I basically like repainted and reshaped the whole face, which is not ideal, but I got carried away and now it looks really signified. But if you look at her long enough, you get used to it. This next person submitted this drawing saying it's a recent drawing of their OC, Mariana Hunter Nozomi. That's an OC name if I've ever heard one. Inspired by the song Unsweetened Lemonade. I don't know that song. Let me quickly. Oh. Yeah, I know that song. That's a TikTok song. I mean, I heard it on TikTok and Reels and Shorts. Honestly, at first I thought she was poisoning the fish in her aquarium. That was kind of dark. So I'm glad it's lemonade. The only thing I would try to fix here are her little feet. And I don't mean that in a cutesy way. They are literally insanely small. I remember in one of the art tips TikToks that we watched together, it said that our feet are approximately the same length as our forearms. This is a very stylized character, so you can make her feet a bit smaller than that, but this is definitely way too small, so I made them bigger. Oh, and I made her chin a bit bigger too. And that's the before and after. This next person submitted 4 drawings with these really cool character designs. They say one of these is their OC, but I don't know which one. But either way, these are really dope designs. This one, though, I think has some spinal issues, which I will gladly fix. This is actually a thing I see a lot of people doing, is tilting one part of the body and forgetting that the rest of the body should move along as well. So here, for example, this shoulder line is like really dramatic. This shoulder is really high up and this one is really low. But the chest line is not tilted the same way at all. Like, judging by the chest, she's standing completely straight. And it makes it look like there is something wrong with her shoulder. It looks unnatural being that high up while the rest of the body is standing straight. And that's why it's important to make guidelines for yourself. The most key guidelines are the shoulder line, the hip line, the chest line, and sometimes the waistline can be helpful as well. So I just move these shoulders into less of a dramatic angle and let the chest line follow along this tilt as well. And if you want a more dynamic pose, you can tilt this hip line a bit more. The background and everything kind of got liquefied in the process, but this is what we got. This person sent 3 drawings and these are like completely different styles. That's honestly impressive. This one caught my eye because it looks so semi-realistic and different from the other 2 drawings. I feel like it must have been a study from a photo reference, maybe like a photo from a magazine. Her hair looks so like real, but her face, the more I look at it, the less sense it makes to me. This is why it's so important to look through your object when you're drawing something. What is underneath this hair? If her entire face is here, then what is all of this for? It doesn't make sense. So if I color in this face and then try to continue this face shape that is underneath this hair, then we will see that this is kind of how her head should be positioned. The middle line of her face should be right here, but instead, on this face, it goes right here, which makes it look like her face has been just cut out and pasted right here onto her cheek. So I just used some liquify to try to put her face back in place. And here's kind of what I got. It still looks very unsettling, and I don't know, I think it's the eyes. The eyes are, I don't know if they're too sharp or why they're throwing me off so much. So I'll just leave it at that, I think. Yeah, and that was pretty much it for today. Obviously, I couldn't review all the submissions because there are a lot of them. So if your drawing didn't make it into this video, I might still review it next time. And of course, you can go ahead and submit new drawings. The hashtag remains the same, or you can email them straight to me. She's mad at me because I didn't take her for a walk. Because it's pouring rain. If you enjoyed this video, then press like, subscribe. I have other fun videos like this on my channel, as well as some tutorials that you might find useful, so you can go watch those if you want. Or if you just want to look at the art that I make, then you can check me out on Instagram. And good night, good day, goodbye.